Hello, it's Tara O'Connell, back with you this week to talk about business planning. We're not just going to talk about business planning, I'm going to take you on a step-by-step tutorial journey, and we're going to have a look at exactly what you need to put in a business plan, into a really simple business plan, but one that's not going to sit on your shelf. This is a plan that you're going to use day in, day out for the coming 12 months. Now, first and foremost, you absolutely need a business plan. So many small business owners don't have a business plan, or they say that the plan is in their head. It's just not good enough in your head. You have to get it down on paper. And statistically, we know that those businesses with a plan are more likely to succeed. Now, the other reason to have a business plan is that if you're ever looking at getting funding from anywhere, whether it be applying for government grants or looking at getting funding from the bank, you need a business plan. So I'm going to show you how simple it is, and I'm going to use this template. It's a paint by numbers business planning template I've put together to make the process as painless and simple as possible. So let's go through the template. So the front page is really your company name and your address. You can put your logo in there as well. We've got a table of contents. Now, the first thing we do in a business plan is start with our why. What is the purpose? What's the reason we started this business? You can use the Know Your Why bonus template that I've put together, and that's in the links under this week's blog. So you can have a look at that, but basically put your purpose in here. Next, the date that your business was established, your business structure. So if you're a sole trader, a company, a trust, or a partnership, and then just list here the core products or services that your business offers. So all the basics up front. Now we look at your brand. We insert here the words that reflect your brand. And I've given you some examples here. So honest, inspiring, authentic, reliable, educational, supportive, empowering. Just put in those words that reflect your brand, and then do the same for the words that reflect your values. Very important to know what your values are within your business. So the values might be communication, quality, sustainability, freedom, connection. There's so many different things you could put in there, but put your values in here up front, and then get to work just writing down who your ideal customer is in as much detail as possible. So it's very hard to market to your ideal customer if you don't know them like you do one of your close friends. So get to know them. You might want to even give them a name. Now, up front here, we put the big goals. These are the big 12-month goals. So in 12 months, and you might want to insert a financial goal here. So the goal needs to be specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. So when you put each of your goals in here, just go across and make sure that it's very specific. You can measure it. You can measure whether it's successful. It's something that's actionable. It's a realistic goal, and you can put a time frame around it. So you've got financial goals, business goals, personal goals, other goals, whatever it is for you. I like to keep it to around 10 because that's manageable. Less than 10 is great, but you just put in there your big goals for the coming 12 months. Next, we look at the strategic direction. So this is still the big picture stuff. This is that really big overarching course of action that will give you the direction you need for the coming 12 months. Now, the examples I've put in here are straight from my plan. One is to position the organization to identify, assess, and respond to viable opportunities that achieve our goals. Now, what that's saying is just we're going to position the organization so that we can identify and adequately respond to future opportunities. And the second umbrella is to consolidate and improve upon what we're already doing, basically. So improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the existing operations. So for my company, they're the two umbrellas that sit across the top when it comes to strategy. Next, we get down into the organization's activity areas. So after you pop your company name in, usually you have around 4 pillars that sit basically holding your company together, just like a house. Now, one of those pillars absolutely should be governance, because without good, solid governance, you're going nowhere fast. So I would write governance in here and then insert a brief paragraph here about what that business pillar means. So for me, it's develop corporate sustainability through ethical practice, achieving financial stability, and meeting our legal requirements. So that's, for me, that's what governance means for my business. Now, the other ones you've seen here, one is events. You can type over these if you use the template. Put a brief paragraph in here. Now, for example, if you were looking at doing the public speaking circuit, then attending events would be one of the pillars of your success. If you're looking at events as being the opportunity to launch, say, a book or a product or a program, or to increase your profile, then events might be one of your pillars. It might also be running events. Now, the other one that I have is partnerships. Partnerships is one of my 4 pillars. And what I've said here are partnerships are fundamental to our business success. Marketing partnerships and affiliate partnerships will drive sales, include the know, like, and trust value, and increase our reach. They offer longevity of brand, and they increase awareness. So you can type over here whatever it is for you. It may not be partnerships. And then the 4th one is the products or programs that your business is producing or distributing. And again, put a short paragraph in here. Now, underpinning all of that will be things like your clients or customers. Perhaps you have volunteers, the finance, personal and professional development, perhaps human resources. It might be property management or property ownership. So underneath all of your 4 business pillars, you will then have some of those underarching things that all businesses will have. Now that we've identified these 4 key pillars, now these are going to be really important for us to keep some structure moving forward so that we're not overwhelmed. So next we look at our strategic objectives. So this is basically the target that our company must achieve to make our strategy succeed. So again, I've put this template together. So what you can do here is just put those 4 pillars down the side here. So remember, we had governance, I had events, partnerships, products and services. Then across the top, we have our 2 strategic objectives. One was consolidation of what we already do, and the other was position for the future. And then here you put in some higher level objectives. So what would you need to do to consolidate, do better in the area of governance? What would you need to do to position for the future in the area of governance? Some big higher level objectives. And then you do the same for the other pillars. So events, in my case, partnerships, products and services, and you fill in the squares with your strategic objectives. Next, we look at your strategic actions. Now, in order to achieve those bigger picture objectives, we need to start looking at some on-the-ground actions. What actions are actually going to get us across the finish line? And again, we look at each of the pillars separately. It just keeps it easier, really simple, and making sure that we are giving each area of our business the attention that it needs and deserves. So again, firstly, we have the governance pillar. We've got our strategic direction. What detailed actions can we put in here to achieve those strategic directions? So if one of our strategic directions was all about profitability, perhaps it was about establishing ourselves in a partnership for a cause, then perhaps what we want to do on the action level is to establish a not-for-profit arm of the business to support that cause and to enable applications of grant funding. So that's the sort of action the detail that we're talking about at this action step. Things like continue to meet legal compliance, monitor financial management, and seek ways to improve it. So they're the types of things that we might like to do for governance. And then, of course, in terms of positioning for the future for governance, we might like to identify and develop some new corporate partnerships, ensure quarterly meetings with our financial advisors or our legal team. So that's the action level for one of our pillars. And then we do the same for the other three. So again, here it might be events. What actions to achieve our strategic direction, which is just copied and pasted from section 3. What actions will we put in here? Then we had the next one, which was partnerships. What actions would we put in here? And the last one was our products and services. So this really is a paint by numbers. So we're just copying and pasting from above down here and then drilling down into further detail. And then the next level down is even more detailed. This is what you're going to print out. So this is, okay, in quarter 1 for activity area 1, which in our case we said was governance. So for governance, what actions do we need to take to achieve those bigger strategic goals, bigger strategic objectives? So one of the actions might be to identify opportunities to meet with our financial for 1 hour per month. Who's going to do that? Tara's going to do that. When? I'm going to do it by the 16th of the 5th. And how much time? Well, it's going to take a little bit of my time, but it's more about how much it's going to cost. An hour a month, that might be $200 per month. So that's what you're going to put in here. Now, this level of detail is great because this is the sort of thing you can keep on your desk. So you're going to do one of these for the first quarter for each of those 4 pillars. So one for governance, one we said was, for me, was events, one was partnerships, and the last one were the products or services. And again, perhaps I'm going to do some research into new markets for my whatever it is that I sell. Who's going to do it? I am. When am I going to do it? September. Is the launch date, and what's the investment of time? It's probably going to be about 15 hours. So that's what you can put here. That's the level of detail you're going to do. So remember, this is the first quarter. So depending on when you're doing this, that's when these dates will be in the first quarter. Then you do the second quarter for the 4 pillars of your business. Third quarter for governance, partnerships, etc. Last quarter. So then you have these sit on your desk. Print these pages out and put them on your desk, and you can mark them off as you achieve them. Because as you achieve each one of these, you're working towards achieving your big picture goal, those goals that we put together right at the very beginning. I've also included in here a risk assessment you can do just to have a look at any risks that might impact on your business success, the likelihood, what sort of impact that each one would have, and a mitigation strategy to work around that. Now, today I'm offering a free cash flow budget for you. It is a fillable cash flow budget, and it's all it'll all do its own calculations, so it's all formatted for you. Once you've done that, you can just drag across the big picture numbers. So year 1 sales, year 1 cost of goods sold, year 1 profit, year 1 expenses, year 1 net profit, and year 2 and year 3. So you can actually just drag those bigger numbers across just so you've got it all here together in your business plan. And that is it. So yes, there's a bit of work. It should take you around 3 hours, no more than that. But as I said, having a business plan is part of doing business, and it's an essential part of doing business. So I've tried to keep it as simple as I can by putting this template together, and I will see you next week.